because the makers of this constitution knew that when processes are time-bound, they must be a safety valve. Article 145, Subarticle 5, which applies mutatis mutandis in relation to the removal from office by way of impeachment of the deputy president, states as follows. The president, and for that matter, it should be read, the deputy president, shall have the right to appear and be represented before the special committee during its investigation. Now, the point that I want to make, that not in a lot of legislation you find the right to be represented highlighted, because the deputy president can elect to be represented either by his advocate or by him appearing in person, or having both the deputy president and his advocate to appear. Now, I want to put before the Senate, because a lot of you have this problem a lot of time during the elections. If, in accordance with the election law, you are required to subscribe your nomination papers on a certain day, and you fail it, you're running for president or deputy president, and you're told that you must present your nomination papers on a certain day, as it is there in the law, would you feign sickness and fail to represent your nomination papers on that particular day? And I can tell you, if you fail to do so, the law will not give you any accommodation. You'll be out, and there are a lot of decisions on this matter. I want to talk to this Senate very frankly, that Senior Counsel Muite was basically giving evidence. He has not told us well, or if he has told us, the medical institution where the deputy president is. But for the deputy president to fail to bring evidence, credible evidence before the House, that he's been admitted, even that evidence that has been admitted to a medical institution, we don't have it. We will rely on the evidence from my senior counsel, Paul Muite. That is evidence. But in practice, I can say without a fear of contradiction, there are many times where people are represented even in medical documents, and later on they've been found to be fake, if I may use that word. I think the thing that the deputy president should have done, we should have had one of the doctors here, at least to tell us about his admission and about his condition, because up to 1:15, the deputy president was here. He was not evacuated from here in an ambulance. And if I can give evidence from the bar, he went to his office, and again, there's no evidence that he was evacuated in an ambulance. He went to Karen Hospital in himself to check at the hospital. So I think our constitutional duty is to live by what the Constitution requires of us. The greatest prejudice, for me, I was looking forward to cross-examine the deputy president. But unfortunately, the story that has been told does not include cross-examination of the evidence of the deputy president, which is on record. But because we are time-bound, and as my London friend Eric Gumba said, we are prepared to go by the evidence in record. The prejudice is to us. The sickness of the deputy president is affecting us more because we would want to cross-examine him. But he has evidence in record which we cannot test by the way of cross-examination. And there's no assurance that on Tuesday, the Deputy President would be here. Finally, we can also say from here that there are many cases that have been filed all over, including in Malindi today, that has to do with the proceedings that are going on here. So I am in a position to say that this health condition in which the Deputy President is, and I sympathize, may be opportunistic in the absence of medical evidence from a doctor. It may be opportunistic. And I saw him when he came in. I'm not a doctor, but there was nothing to suggest that he was in the condition that Honorable Counsel has been talking about. So do the senators now turn into a jury to make a decision on the basis of evidence presented from the bar by senior counsel without no documentary proof of where the Deputy President is and what ailments is suffering for? I think the more important duty for this Senate is to comply with the Constitution. And we urge you to comply with the Constitution and proceed with the hearing of these impeachment proceedings. Thank you.
Senior Counsel Paul Muite.
Mheshimiwa Speaker, honorable senators, we all live in Kenya, and I would like to make this submission. These gadgets we have here capture every word uttered accurately, so that if I was found tomorrow to have lied to these senators, sanctions can be brought on me. And I would have thought that that fear of telling a lie to this honorable Senate, to me, is more powerful than even bringing a medical report. We've had many medical reports generated outside hospitals. We see them in courts almost on a daily basis. Mheshimiwa Speaker, you will remember the rush that was there when I was asking to be given up to 5 p.m. And it was a rush. Was I to fail to come back to this honorable house at 5 p.m., waiting for a medical report when the doctors there are busy attending to their patient, the Deputy President? Medical reports I can bring. If I've told lies, that is something that can be established. And my learned friend, Mheshimiwa Honorable Orengo, talks about giving evidence from the bar. When I was learning, they are seated down when he's giving evidence from the bar about some cases filed in Malindi that I'm not aware of. Perhaps he should have given us a copy of that. Mheshimiwa Speaker, Article 145, Sub-Article 6 is clear, and I do not want to take time of this august House, Senate. Going back to it, it applies, and I would plead with you and with honorable senators to give us until Tuesday to see whether the Deputy President will be well enough. No one No one decides when to get sick and when not to get sick. I am sure many honorable senators here will have a story of their shock because of having spent an evening with somebody, then the following day they hear that the person is gone. Yet that person was looking good and healthy. Let's be humane. Let's be compassionate. Tuwe na utu kidogo. Tuesday, the heavens are not falling down to join with the earth. I thank you, Mheshimiwa Speaker.
Senior Counsel Paul Muite. There is a hypothetical